Hello everyone. Today we are covering multiple topics on education through an exciting quiz. Get ready to test your knowledge. So the question 1 is, who proposed the theory of multiple intelligences? A. John Dewey, B. Howard Gardner, C. B.F. Skinner, D. Jean Piaget. Option B is the right answer, Howard Gardner. Gardner proposed a theory of multiple intelligences, which suggests that intelligence is not a single entity but a collection of multiple types, such as linguistic, logical, mathematical, and special intelligences. Question 2 is, what is the difference between intrinsic and extrinsic motivation? A. One is internal and the other is external. B. Both are the same. C. Intrinsic is for rewards, extrinsic is self-driven. D. Neither applies to education. Option A is the right answer. One is internal and the other is external. Reason is, intrinsic motivation comes from within, such as personal satisfaction, while extrinsic motivation is driven by external rewards like money or praise. Question 3 is, what does Maslow's hierarchy of needs suggest about learning? A. Learning is independent of needs. B. Basic needs must be met before higher learning occurs. C. Only psychological needs impact learning. D. All needs are equally important. Option B is the right answer. Basic needs must be met before higher learning occurs. Reason is, Maslow's hierarchy places psychological and safety needs at the base. Without these, individuals cannot focus on higher level activities like learning or self-actualization. Question 4 is, define classical conditioning with an example. A. Learning by observation. B. Learning through reinforcement. C. Learning through association. D. Trial and error learning. Option C is the right answer, learning through association. Reason is, classical conditioning involves creating associations between a neutral stimulus and a natural response, such as Pavlov experiment with dogs. Question 5 is, what is the role of reinforcement in learning? A. It discourages behavior. B. It strengthens behavior. C. It has no effect on learning. D. It always leads to punishment. Option B is the right answer. It strengthens behavior. Reason is, reinforcement, whether positive or negative, increases the likelihood of a behavior being repeated. Question 6 is, name the 3 stages of memory according to the information processing model. A. Recall, storage, forgetting. B. Encoding, storage, retrieval. C. Understanding, retention, repetition. D. None of the above. Option B is the right answer, encoding, storage, retrieval. Reason is, the information processing model breaks memory into 3 stages: encoding, input, storage, saving, and retrieval, assessing. Question 7 is, what is the zone of proximal development? A. Task a child can do independently. B. Task a child can do with guidance. C. Task beyond a child's ability. D. None of the above. Option B is the right answer. Task a child can do with guidance. Reason, Vygotsky zone of proximal development describes the range of tasks a learner can complete with the help of a skilled individual, like a teacher. Question 8 is, which psychologist is known for the operant conditioning theory? A. Albert Bandura. B. B.F. Skinner. C. Lev Vygotsky. D. John Watson. The right option is B. B.F. Skinner. Reason is, Skinner's operant conditioning focuses on how behavior is influenced by consequences such as rewards or punishments. Question 9 is, how does cognitive dissonance affect learning? A. It motivates learner to resolve inconsistencies. B. It reduces the ability to learn. C. It has no effect on learning. D. It helps in memorization. Option A is the right answer. It motivates learners to resolve inconsistencies. Reason is, cognitive dissonance occurs when beliefs or behaviors conflict, motivating learners to reduce the discomfort by changing their understanding. Question 10 is, what is the importance of self-efficacy in a classroom setting? A. It helps students avoid challenges. B. It builds confidence to face academic tasks. C. It reduces learning outcomes. D. It is unrelated to motivation. Option B is the right answer. It builds confidence to face academic tasks. Reason is self-efficacy refers to a person's belief in their ability to succeed, which directly impacts their willingness to take on challenges and persist. Next, we are covering Bloom's taxonomy. Question 1 is, what are the 6 levels of Bloom's taxonomy in order? A. Understand, remember, apply, analyze, create, evaluate. B. Remember, understand, apply, analyze, evaluate, create. C. Analyze, apply, create, understand, remember, evaluate. D. None of the above. Option B is the right answer. Remember, understand, apply, analyze, evaluate, correct. Reason is the original Bloom's taxonomy orders cognitive processes from basic to complex, starting with remembering facts and building up to creating new ideas. Question 2 is, give an example of a question at the application level of Bloom's taxonomy. A. Define a verb. B. Use a formula to solve a math problem. C. Describe the importance of recycling. D. Compare two historical events. Option B is the right answer. Use a formula to solve a math problem. Reason is the application level involved using knowledge in new situations, such as applying a learned formula to solve a math problem. Question 3 is, which level focuses on creating something new from knowledge? A. Analyze. B. Apply. C. Evaluate. D. Create. Option D is the right answer. Create. Reason is, at the creation level, learners synthesize and construct new ideas or products, such as inventing something or writing a story. Question 4 is, how does analysis level differ from evaluation? A. Analysis focuses on breaking down information. Evaluation involves judging its value. B. Both involve judgment of data. C. Analysis focuses on outcomes. Evaluation is only about inputs. D. They are the same. Option A is the right answer. Analysis focuses on breaking down information. Evaluation involves judging its value. Reason is, analysis is about dissecting a concept into parts, while evaluation requires critiquing and making decisions about the information's value. Question 5 is, define the understanding level with an example. A. Recalling facts from memory. B. Explaining the meaning of a concept. C. Creating a new invention. D. Analyzing a scientific experiment. Option B is the right answer. Explaining the meaning of a concept. Reason is, understanding goes beyond memorizing by requiring learners to explain ideas in their own words or describe relationships. Question 6 is, why is remembering considered the foundation of learning? A. It is the highest form of thinking. B. It helps in applying critical thinking. C. All higher level skills rely on basic knowledge. D. It doesn't involve active thoughts. Option C is the right answer. All higher level skills rely on basic knowledge. Reason, remembering is foundational because learners need to recall facts and concepts before progressing to understanding, application, and higher level thinking. Question 7 is, how can teachers encourage synthesis in their lesson plans? A. Ask students to memorize fact. B. Have students combine ideas to create new solutions. C. Test students a basic recall. D. Avoid collaborative activities. Option B is the right answer. Have students combine ideas to create new solutions. Reason is, synthesis creation involves combining elements into new whole, such as brainstorming innovative solutions to problems. Question 8 is, provide an example of an activity at the evaluating level. A. Writing a summary of a book. B. Comparing two solutions and justifying the best one. C. Recalling facts from a textbook. D. Solving a math equation. Option B is the right answer. Comparing two solutions and justifying the best one. Reason, evaluation requires critiquing or assessing ideas to make informed judgments, as in comparing solutions. Question 9 is, what is the revised version of Bloom's taxonomy and who created it? A. Digital taxonomy, John Dewey. B. Revised taxonomy, Lauren Anderson. C. Modern Bloom's, B.F. Skinner. D. Updated model, Lev Vygotsky. Option B is the right answer, revised taxonomy, Lauren Anderson. Reason is, Anderson revised Bloom's original taxonomy by renaming and reordering the levels to better reflect modern education practices. Question 10 is, how can Bloom's taxonomy help in assessing students effectively? A. It provides a clear hierarchy of cognitive levels. B. It eliminates the need for assessments. C. It focuses only on recall-based learning. D. It discourages creativity in teaching. Option A is the right answer. It provides a clear hierarchy of cognitive levels. Reason: Bloom's taxonomy helps educators design activities and assessment by targeting different levels of cognitive complexity. Now we are covering the topic history of education. So the first question is, who is known as the father of modern education? A. John Dewey. B. Horace Mann. C. Maria Montessori. D. Jean Piaget. Option B is the right answer, Horace Mann. Reason is, Horace Mann is credited with establishing public education systems in the US, advocating for universal access to education for all children. Question 2 is, what was the main focus of John Dewey educational philosophy? A. Memorization. B. Practical experiential learning. C. Strict discipline. D. Learning by rote. Option B is the right answer, practical experiential learning. Reason: John Dewey believed that students learn best through experiences and the education should prepare them for real life problem solving. Question 3 is, when and where was the first formal school established? A. Ancient Greece. B. Sumer, Mesopotamia. C. Medieval Europe. D. Ancient Egypt. Option B is the right answer, Sumer, Mesopotamia. Reason is, the earliest formal schools were established in ancient Mesopotamia to teach scribes and administrators. Question 4 is, who founded the Montessori method of education? A. Maria Montessori. B. Jean Piaget. C. Lev Vygotsky. D. Howard Gardner. Option A is the right answer, Maria Montessori. Reason is, Montessori developed a child-centered approach to education, emphasizing independence, exploration, and hands-on learning. Question 5 is, what significant change did the Industrial Revolution bring to education? A. Introduction of online classes. B. Universal public education became a priority. C. Education became less structured. D. Schools were abolished in rural areas. Option B is the right answer. Universal public education became a priority. Reason is, the Industrial Revolution created a demand for educated workers, prompting governments to invest in public education system. Question 6 is, what was the purpose of first universities in medieval Europe? A. Job placement. B. Advanced religious and academic study. C. Trade skill training. D. Early childhood education. Option B is the right answer, advanced religious and academic study. Reason is, early universities in medieval Europe were established to train scholars in theology, law, and medicine. Question 7 is, which country introduced the concept of public education? A. Germany, B. United States, C. England, D. India. Option A is the right answer, Germany. Reason is Germany, under leaders like William von Humboldt, developed the first structured public education systems to train citizens for national service. Question 8 is, how did the Enlightenment influence modern education system? A. Promoted education for practical knowledge. B. Increased rote memorization. C. Limited access to higher education. D. Focused only on classical studies. Option A is the right answer, promoted education for practical knowledge. Reason is, Enlightenment thinkers like Rousseau emphasized education's role in fostering critical thinking and practical skills over rote learning. Question 9 is, name one major education reformer from the 20th century. A. John Locke, B. Jean Piaget, C. Plato, D. Aristotle. Option B is the right answer, Jean Piaget. Reason is, Piaget's work on cognitive development significantly influenced how education systems understand and cater to learning needs of children. Question 10 is, what was the significance of the No Child Left Behind Act? A. It introduced online education. B. It focused on accountability and standardized testing in schools. C. It ended public education funding. D. It introduced Montessori education. Option B is the right answer. It focused on accountability and standardized testing in schools. Reason is, the No Child Left Behind Act introduced mandatory assessments to measure schools' effectiveness and improve educational outcomes. Now we are covering cognitive development theory. So the first question is, who is known for the theory of cognitive development in children? A. Lev Vygotsky, B. Jean Piaget, C. B.F. Skinner, D. John Dewey. Option B is the right answer, Jean Piaget. Reason is, Jean Piaget developed a theory of cognitive development which describes how children's thinking evolves in stages as they grow. Question 2 is, what is the first stage of Piaget's cognitive development theory? A. Pre-operational stage, B. Sensory motor stage, C. Concrete operational stage, D. Formal operational stage. Option B is the right answer, sensory motor stage. Reason is, the sensory motor stage occurs from birth to about 2 years of age, where infants explore the world through their senses and action. Question 3 is, which of these is a key characteristic of the pre-operational stage? A. Abstract thinking, B. Conservation of quantity, C. Egocentrism, D. Logical reasoning. Option C is the right answer, egocentrism. Reason is, in the pre-operational stage, ages 2 to 7, children exhibit egocentrism, meaning they have difficulty understanding perspectives other than their own. Question 4 is, what does conservation mean in Piaget's theory? A. The ability to focus on one thing at a time. B. The ability to understand that quantity doesn't change despite changes in shape or appearance. C. The ability to think logically about abstract concepts. D. The ability to focus on multiple tasks simultaneously. Option B is the right answer, the ability to understand that quantity doesn't change despite changes in shape or appearance. Reason is, conservation refers to the understanding that objects retain certain properties, such as quantity or volume, even when their appearance changes. Question 5 is, in which stage of cognitive development do children begin to understand abstract concepts? A. Sensory motor, B. Pre-operational, C. Concrete operational, D. Formal operational. Option D is the right answer, formal operational. Reason is, in the formal operational stage, ages 12 and up, adolescents develop the ability to think logically about abstract concepts and hypothetical situations. Question 6 is, what is the concept of scaffolding in cognitive development? A. Using punishment to correct behavior. B. Providing temporary support to help learners achieve tasks they can't complete alone. C. Encouraging independent learning from the start. D. Allowing children to learn through trial and error. Option B is the right answer, providing temporary support to help learners achieve tasks they can't complete alone. Reason is scaffolding refers to the support given by a teacher or more knowledgeable peer that helps a learner complete a task they couldn't do independently. Question 7 is, which is a key difference between Piaget and Vygotsky's theories? A. Piaget focused on cultural influences while Vygotsky focused on cognitive stages. B. Piaget emphasized stages of development while Vygotsky emphasized social interaction as key to cognitive development. C. Piaget denied the existence of stages, Vygotsky focused on biology. D. Both agreed on the same concept of development. Option B is the right answer. Piaget emphasized stages of development while Vygotsky emphasized social interaction as key to cognitive development. Reason is Piaget emphasized universal stages of cognitive development while Vygotsky believed that social interaction and culture plays crucial role in cognitive development. Question 8 is, according to Piaget, what is the role of assimilation in cognitive development? A. Modifying existing knowledge to fit new information. B. Incorporating new information into existing schemas. C. Ignoring new information that doesn't fit. D. Creating entirely new ways of thinking. Option B is the right answer, incorporating new information into existing schemas. Reason is assimilation involves integrating new experiences or information into existing cognitive structures or schemas. Question 9 is, at what age do children typically start the concrete operational stage according to Piaget? A. 2 to 7 years. B. 7 to 11 years. C. 11 to 15 years. D. 0 to 2 years. Option B is the right answer, 7 to 11 years. Reason is the concrete operational stage typically begins at around age 7 and continues until age 11, where children develop logical thinking skills but still struggle with abstract concepts.